Welcome back, everyone. My name is Anthony Blocker, and this is Education. All right, so for the last 20 years or so, education may not have been your biggest market, but something you should be considering is that right now, around the world, there are billions of dollars, trillions of dollars in the future that are going to be spent on education. So how are you guys going to take advantage of that? Because that's an opening market that's going to be expanding, and you need to be there to catch that. So one of the things that is definitely happening is all around the world, internet is being used to educate. There are students in college that are earning their complete college degrees online. There are students going to high school that are earning their high school diplomas online. It will not be long before every student will be capable of earning any level of education directly from their home computers. Now, one of the things that I have found is a man named Sugata Mitra, and he has developed this revolutionary technique where there are no teachers, there are just students and computers, and they are given a directive. Using this directive and the internet, they then work in teams of 4 to go out and complete their directive to find the information that they were told they need to know. Using this method, after only 2 months, these students who were 10 years old were capable of taking a standardized test for children their levels and scoring 30%. After another 2 months, given a little bit more specific directive that evolved from the previous one, they were capable of taking that exact same test and scoring a 50%. Now, the most important part about that is they have no teachers. They are teaching themselves using the internet. And that's something that if a 10-year-old can do, surely high school students and college students can do. Next up, we've got quality of teachers. And this is important because the top quality teachers are going to be teaching, if use the internet, everyone. We won't need to have one teacher for every 15 students because one very, very good, accurate, professional teacher can give a presentation that can be watched by anyone in the world. So most important for you is the technology for doing this is becoming available, but you need to be on the forefront of that. Some things that students are going to need are high definition microphones capable of using this accurate voice to text software. You're also going to need ergonomic keyboards and any type of ergonomic interface. The interface is going to be key, so coming up with a new interface that can use this technology in an innovative, adaptive way is going to allow you to tap into this market and to make the money off of it.
And now Blake with political and legal analysis.
Hi, I'm Blake and I'm the political legal analyst, and fiber optic transmission capabilities will grow at a rate twice that of processing speeds for the foreseeable future. The vast increases in long distance capacity can be attributed to technological progress, abundance financing, and regulatory liberalization. Some of the traditional regulatory rules are unnecessary, like price regulation. In a market such as the telecommunications one, where it's wide open and widely competitive, price regulation is not needed, along with profit and quality regulation. Since many of these regulations are administered by the 50 states, it might suggest that state regulation is going to be a disappearance of that. Thing that these stakeholders will want to be a part of regulation is e-commerce and consumer protection. There will always be fraud, misrepresentation, and theft when dealing with e-commerce or anything that can be transmitted online. The hard part about this is you can't regulate the electronic transaction of the e-commerce, but you can regulate the physical parts of it, which have to deal with the carriers and the service providers. This will then make the carriers and service providers be responsible for the use of their network. Transformation of regulation will be mainly to reduce legacy regulation that was enacted in the '96 law, and these will be address from a legislative body and commissions, and they will have an end-game scenario with a goal of 5 years to get most of these laws deregulated pretty much. They'll be reinventing themselves and focusing more on privacy regulations, consumer protection, broadband, and mass media. The regulatory bodies will also continue to exist, and there will be vessels for society establishing control mechanisms in the electronic environment.
Up next is Anthony with technology.
Hi again. I'm also the technology analyst for our firm, so that's obviously going to be one of the most important parts for you guys being in the technology industry. There are 6 new technologies that are either have come out recently or are going to be coming out within the next few years that are going to shape the telecommunications industry over the next 20 years. The first of those is a 14-channel high-fidelity EG acquisition headset. Basically what this headset does is it allows a user to interface with computers using nothing but their brain. It scans your brain, basically makes a flat image, and then using the way you think and what activates allows you to move virtual objects with nothing but your mind. The most important part about this, you guys may have heard of technologies that are similar to this. This technology takes 5 minutes or less to put on and costs a couple of $100s to produce. So it's going to be a major market changer. Next up is a fully volumetric 3D imaging system. This is important especially for telecommunications because this is your field. I mean, TVs basically, except for it's the deletion of TVs. It's turning your flat screen images into what would be a 3D light. The technologies is going to be a new interface system developed by Jeff Hahn. This interface system, like the headset, is revolutionary, and it allows you to touch screens but to completely move anything you need using nothing but touch. Now, that is going to be important when combined with other of these 6 breakthrough technologies. Finally, one that's come out right now is the Xbox Kinect. This reads nothing but body movements. So people can move their hand on camera and grab something that is virtual, moving it on the screen. Again, another interface technology. Voice recognition. There is a program being developed in the UK right now, and the reason it is so important is because unlike any voice recognition before, it is so accurate that they are capable of programming other codes using nothing but their voices. The reason this is going to be absolutely monumental in your industry is because they're going to be able to use this technology to voice to text and then text change to other languages. So this is going to allow communication between anyone in the world at any time. Finally, there's the virtual Earth. And this isn't just that technology, but the concept itself is evolving. It is being able to create a virtual persona of yourself or of others and living an existence, or at least an experience, through that persona. And what each of these technologies is going to be leading up to is full immersion virtual reality.
And now Travis with a conclusion and some industry recommendations.
You combine all of our findings that we have presented here to you tonight, you will see that your industry is moving towards an amazing change. That change is going to be a virtual reality in a fully 3-dimensional environment, linking users all across the world to communicate through thought, emotions, and even voice. This will further the connectivity of world markets and create all new markets for your industry to expand to, as well as creating a global society with its own rules and regulations. They will not only be able to use this technology for games and entertainment, but as well as education. There will be thousands of innovations that will allow your industry to change and be used in ways previously unimagined. And this is what your industry is all about, and this is what you should be headed towards. So on behalf of myself and my crew, I would like to thank you all for allowing us to present to you here tonight.